Thomas and Rajon Rondo in the first quarter. The Lakers lost to the Pelicans. Both players received double technicals and were ejected from the game. And Rondo, who won a title with the Celtics, called out IT earlier this season, saying he didn't deserve a video tribute in Boston. So things were already a little chippy. Then after the game, Isaiah didn't exactly hold himself accountable for his ejection. Check it out.
For whatever reason, he's an upset guy about me. I don't know what it is, but it's fine. Like, I can't control that. He kept bringing the tribute up when I was the one that shut the tribute down. So, I mean, I'm far past that. I'm on the Lakers trying to figure out how to help this team win. And for the things that happened today happen and me to get ejected is uncalled for. My team beat his team in the playoffs last year. Maybe that is what's wrong. I don't know. There's nothing nothing should have made that escalate like it did. But he already had his agenda written down right when I checked in the game. It was obvious. Pick me up full court, trying to be physical. It was obvious.
His agenda written down. All right, number one, why are we still talking about this video tribute? Who cares? And two, Chris, does IT deserve blame for getting ejected?
Well, first of all, I wish I knew what Rondo was saying. Like how you keep bringing up the tribute. What's up with that tribute, man? Right, that should have been Paul's day, man. What you doing? What you doing? You some nerve. I really would like to hear what he was actually saying to him.
But he's trying to get under his skin. You know that.
Right, but how, yeah.
And look, Isaiah, we know he can be blamed for a lot this year. He is absolutely right, though, last night. He should not have gotten ejected. He should not have gotten a technical. This was all Rondo. Rondo basically hit him 2 or 3 times in the face. I don't know if it was 2 or 3. He hit him. He didn't all out punch him, but he clearly was trying to disguise stuff like this. He did it at least twice. Isaiah didn't retaliate. Isaiah's kind of smiling, laughing. He says to the ref, what the heck is going on? He did not deserve a T. He did not deserve an ejection. I'm with Isaiah on this. We'll get to a lot of his other things. But yesterday, he should have been able to play in that game.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. It was definitely a Rajon Rondo, almost like he premeditated this going into this game, that I'm going to mess with this guy because I did something special in Boston, and they weren't gonna give me any tribute.
He get his jersey retired.
I don't know if they're gonna lift my number in the rafters. I mean,
probably not.
I don't know. They may. You think they lift everybody's number?
Oh yeah, that's true. Nowadays,
well, not numbers.
But last night, what you saw was somebody getting in the altercation. Somebody being Rajon Rondo. This is who he is. He's a confrontational guy. Getting into it with another confrontational guy, and so my only issue that I have with this is IT after the game. He said, I don't know why he's upset. I don't know, man. You talk.
Yeah.
You
probably was saying
you
stuff
wolf
on the court
too. Like even if you watched, even in his time in Cleveland when he wasn't dressed, he's on the sideline standing up, yelling at players, cussing them out. Like this is who Isaiah Thomas is. So now all of a sudden, don't act like you just look. I didn't do anything.
That's my thing. Yes.
I just came to play basketball. This is like this past season when Oakland played Denver. And Michael Crabtree and Akeem Talib got into it. It was premeditated.
Right.
They knew what they were getting into.
But I also think that now, because Isaiah is wounded in the eyes of other players, like from where he was, his perch last year to this year. I'm with you. I don't blame Isaiah, but I think now they're like, there's blood in the water. Do you know what I mean?
You think people are looking at players are looking at him like we're gonna go at you?
Like we're gonna go at you. You're not the same guy.
Were you about to say like a loser?
No, I didn't say that. No. I'm just saying that's what I get. And
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Undisputed Live.
Isaiah picking him up full court, pressuring him. That's what Patrick Beverly did in Lonzo Ball's first game. You don't do that to a vet in this league in a game in February. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's you really like going at somebody like, I'm going to mess with you today. I'm going to do that. And that's what I think Isaiah is. He's not that guy who's going to get that big payday, who was 5th in MVP voting last year. You've been traded twice in 7 months, right? He's not that guy, and they want to show him he's not that guy.
Well, I think, first of all, too, Rondo probably has some resentment about the playoffs last year. Remember when they were up 2-0 and he gets hurt. They probably would have won that series, Chicago beating Boston, if he doesn't go down.
Didn't they win the first 2 games?
They won the first 2 games. Yeah. It was in Boston. Yeah. So, and then, of course, Isaiah becomes the hero of the playoffs up until the conference finals after that. So maybe that has something to do with it. Look, we've seen guys fall a long way. I mean, we were just talking about one, Derrick Rose, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, even Amari Stoudemire to some degree because of injury.
Right.
This is related to injury with the hip, but there's more to it. You mentioned the disrespect. Those guys weren't disrespected this way. And that does lead you to believe, was he rubbing guys the wrong way even when he was playing at his best? And now that he's injured, he's without a wing, you know, he's hurt, he's not playing well, he's down, he's probably not going to get this huge payday.
And let me say
he's been traded and traded again.
But not only traded, he was dumped by LeBron. Do you know what I mean? Like your status.
No question.
You were dumped. What? Like LeBron's like, oh no, let's hold on to him. Let that hip get right. He can be the guy and help us. No, LeBron's like, I'm done. Yeah. Let's get him out of here. And I think people look at that, and that's where the wound is, and he has to be able to overcome that. So he's got a lot of work to do before the end of the season.
Look, he has a lot of built-in, like, anxiety and just hurt. I don't know what you would even call it because of
with the
chip on his shoulder from just being the little man. Even we saw the commercials. We saw him do a little bit of a documentary about it a little bit, talking about his upbringing and always being the smallest guy on the court. That bothers him. That he always has something to prove. So now him being hurt, as you alluded to, that gives him something else to prove because now everybody's like, it's over. It's over for him. So now all of a sudden, on top of the fact that I'm 5'9", with gym shoes on,
with platforms,
exactly, and now I hurt my hip, and everybody's saying I will not return to being the player that I once was. He's out to prove that. That's why LeBron had to dump him because it was more about him than about winning championships. And LeBron isn't about He's about winning championships.
And look, to be fair, that attitude, that chip on the shoulder, that arrogance and cockiness, that has served him well. To be 5'8", 5'9", and excel in this game, even to make it to the NBA.
100%.
Or even to play big time Division
Average,
I.
what do you average, 29?
29. Like
29 in the NBA
Nate
at that
Robinson
size.
had the same attitude, you know, from the same part of the country, too. He wasn't as good as Isaiah, but, you know, that has been good for him. I just don't know with that injury at 29 years old, even he's gonna look at all this and use it for fuel. But with the injury, the age, I don't know that he'll be able to. And even if he is able to at some point get back to what he was, the sad thing is he's going to miss out probably on the big payday. Even if he'll get another contract, but by the time he becomes what he used to be, if he gets there, he'll already be in a new contract that probably isn't paying him what he's worth.
Yeah, so, I don't see a max deal. It would have
no way.
But he was right on the cusp of.
I don't think he was.
Oh, but you know what I mean? Of being that kind of.
He was going to get over 20 a year easily.
So if you are in his circle and you're advising Isaiah Thomas moving forward after this season, are you telling him, Isaiah, look, shut your mouth?
Not after this season. You mean like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yeah, but my point is, would you be telling him, or would you say, look, you're not the player that you once was? Would you be willing to tell him that?
Most people can't handle that.
Exactly.
But is that it? Do you think he's not the player he once was?
I don't think he's. I mean, look, he doesn't have the.
He's not in the same. Well, true.
He doesn't have the. That was a lot of his game.
He probably knows that, and he's chalking it up to the injury, which is probably why it is the case. But as I've said before, he was not a perennial 28-point scorer. He was not a perennial all-NBA talent like last year. He was just in a great role, a great system that was the perfect storm for him.
Which allowed him to flourish better than ever before.
He wasn't going to do that consistently, and not outside of Boston.
Is he still a starter in this league?
Yeah, for something, he's certainly in a top
the reason why I asked
but
that
I think
is
he might just be better as a
the reason why I asked it is because if I'm advising Isaiah Thomas, you have to be real. Isaiah, you're 5'9". You're a liability defensively. Teams are looking at you saying, I can't win with him at the forefront of my franchise. So you have to be willing to look at that, survey yourself, self-assess, and say, look, maybe I might be better suited swallowing my pride and coming off the bench.
Well, and being a really good bench player,
absolutely,
to come and put up shots and points. A lot of guys, they balk at that, but that's sometimes finding the right role.
Yeah,
and I agree.
That will extend his career.
Right, that'll extend your career. You'll play a long time if you only give me 18 minutes off the bench and score 15 points or 12 points.
Well, it might need a guy like Jamal Crawford, who's kind of the godfather of that Seattle area basketball players, who's made a great career coming off the bench, even though he's got starter's ability. You know, and even you point out, look at Kevin McHale. Look at some of these great sixth men. But whether Isaiah buys into it or not, the one thing he definitely needs to do is stop chirping and stop, making these comments.
I'm not sure he can do it.
Nope.
I just think that's who he is. He's cut a certain way. It started from being the smallest guy having to do all that. So I think it's already in him. It would be nearly impossible for him to just go, okay, I'm not talking anymore.
Well, the interesting thing after all these things that have gone wrong for him recently, here comes LeVar.
I know.
I was just going to say, the one thing he needs to do is get in LeVar's face, because I just want to see it.
Well, a lot of people would like to see it. And now some people would actually like that. If LeVar threw a shot at him, and I don't know that he will, he'll throw a shot at something.
But he might.
If
he takes playing time away from Lonzo, right, and starts playing LeVar, I guarantee you.
That would make him a little cult hero. If he went back at LeVar, because nobody's done it.
No.
Not one person's done it. LeBron did.
You said it the other day. That's who it's going to be.
Absolutely. I still believe so. To your point, he's not going to be able to shut his mouth. That's just not who he is. Especially with LeVar's waiting in the wing.
Do they both want to come on the program and maybe go back and forth here? They can sit right there. Rob will move.
I'll leave.
We'll get the love seat.
That would be fantastic. Open invitation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Is it crazy to think that Mitch Trubisky had a better rookie year than Deshaun Watson? Are we absolutely
what?
Are we crazy? Maybe. Probably.
What was the word?